Yo, what is up guys, and I'm back on our YouTube video, and in this YouTube video I'll be showing y'all how to make a city in Fortnite Creative. So this is not just gonna be a city where you grab a bunch of prefabs and drop them down. I'm gonna be showing y'all how to make a city with custom buildings and everything. So first you just want to, I would grab an island which is just flat, unless you want to make your own terrain, feel free to. But if you're a beginner, I would do a flat island, so I'm just going to be using the grid island. So first, I'm just going to go to galleries, then search up the word street, and then I would just grab both of these. The street gallery A has a bunch of signs and stuff, those would be useful. Then the street gallery B has all the floors we'll need. So first, I'm going to place down all the floors and stuff. So first, what you should do, or what I would do, is make the outline of your city by making the roads first. So this is exactly how I made Crime City in Fortnite Creative. I took the same process. So first, you want to make the roads. So once you think you're done making all your roads, you got to start building the buildings. So now what I do is, you don't want to use prefabs because that's not really good. What I would do is just go through all the prefabs and then equip the ones that you like the type of walls and stuff. So I like the windows and the walls on the dark tilted bank, and just place it down like that. And now you want to grab, like, first just grab the doors, right? Let's just say you want your first building over here. And now grab the walls. Let's just say you want it this wide and stuff. Then do it all the way around. Of course, add windows. You gotta have a lot of detail and stuff. Can't just have no windows at all or look dumb. So obviously my building right now looks dumb because I'm just placing random things. So obviously you can't just have a whole floor with a window. Well, you can, but it'll look bad. But like, add a detail to it. And you see these corner things, you want to add these too, because otherwise it's just gonna have like these sharp edges which aren't gonna look nice. So just for the video, mine is only gonna be 2 stories high. Then you want to grab the roof, and then you're not just done right there. So on the roof usually there's like a piece like this, I'm not sure what they're called, but you want to add these because otherwise it kind of just looks weird. So go ahead and add these. So now the corner piece is right here, grab that, put them in all 4 corners. So there is your building. So depending on what type of map you are making, if you're just making a city for looks, you don't need to have an interior. You just go ahead and go to devices and get the barrier device, put it in the middle, then go into the settings, put it on gloss black, put it on all, block weapon fire yes, and then just put the dimensions of your map. Right, so I added the barriers, so as you see it's like reflective black on all the windows and even the door. So yeah, another way, if you don't just want like a black barrier, you could delete the barrier. Then if you go to galleries, search up cube, and then grab the first one, cube gallery, equip it, place it. Then you could grab these like glowing cubes, and then go over here, put it on. Yeah, grid snap 8 is perfect. Then you just want to like resize it so like fits perfectly like this. And then you gotta go to all the windows and everything one by one, or you could, like, depending on what cube you choose, you could just like make it big enough so it covers all of them, depending on the size of your building as well. So I'm not gonna do all, but that's the idea. Barriers are easier, but then these look better because it's like shiny and stuff. So yeah, so you could make a bunch of different buildings. Don't just use the same building for each building in your city. Like, don't just use the same doors and walls and stuff for the same one. If you're done with this building, go back to prefabs and then find another one. I like the castle tower from Tilted Towers, so I'll place that. Then once again, here's the door. And then you just want to repeat that same process all around your city along the roads. So obviously I'm not going to build any more buildings because, you know, this is just an example. So now you could bring your other street galleries, street gallery A, I believe. So this is not too important, but what you should do at least is add these street lights. You don't gotta do anything else, but these should like at least be in your island. So I would put it at grid snap 2, and then just put him like a few blocks away. Obviously these distances are kind of trash from what I'm doing because I'm just placing them randomly. From signs and stuff, you don't gotta go that into detail unless you want to. The reason I'm saying you don't have to, because memory, like these little props, like one sign takes 3, and then one of these takes 283. So yeah, you could add traffic lights, but really you don't have to. You could just add them if you want. For the edge of your city, don't just leave it so people could just walk out. Obviously I built it on the edge, so it's just the barrier. But even if it isn't the barrier, let's just say this is the edge of my island. You just don't want the rest of your island just to be a grid island. So what you want to do is you go into galleries, then on the left go to find the racing or something like that. Racetrack, yeah, racetrack. Then go to racetrack gallery, and then scroll down until you find these right here. These are good for like the border of cities. So one of these takes 4, and then if you have a big city, it'll cost a lot. So what a lot of people do is grab these and then put building as prop on, grid snap 2, and then instead of placing multiple, just resize the width to make it bigger. And then yeah, this is just 1, but takes up 2 sides. Then these could go super big, as you see. Let me make it big as you can make it. So as you see, this could go super big. This is what a lot of creators do. Like Echo does it in his prison break map, I do it in my crime city map. And yeah, so resizing things instead of using multiple things is very helpful. You could actually do this with the road pieces. This shouldn't really be a problem unless you have a lot of roads. My map doesn't have that many, so I didn't have to do this, but you can resize the roads and stuff. But I'm not gonna do that because that one's a little bit more complicated, because you get to resize the sidewalk and the road and stuff to like the same length, so it's not just some random oversized prop. And even if you have these, it's literally a grid snap island. So what you should do is just go to galleries, grass, then just grab whatever grass you like. For the video, I'll just do this. And once again, instead of placing many, you could increase the width and the depth. I wouldn't increase it by all because then it's going to increase the height too. You want the normal height. Alright, now the depth. And then yeah, just place it however you like. I say grid snap 2 is the best for this type of stuff. And then just put it everywhere where it's gonna be visible. So just for the video, I'll do this much, and it's just grass. That's not enough. You want to go to galleries, nature, then just grab whatever gallery you like, place it, and then don't just go into grid snap and then just place like trees like grid snap like that. Like that's dumb. What you want to do is grab some trees, grid snap on none or off, and then collision on nothing, and then carefully place trees without grid snap like this, so it's at like unique locations, not just places you spammed with grid snap. And then the floor is kind of plain, so you want to grab these bushes or whatever type of bush you want. These make good for like this type of spots. Instead of like adding the whole bush, you could add the tip tops of it, and it actually looks pretty good. And then obviously add a barrier right here. You could just, it's literally like from the building, just grab the barrier device, put it on grid snap 2 or something right there, and then invisible width however you want. You can leave that at 1, and then the height depending how big your map is. And now you have a barrier too, so now people can escape the map. I do want to say this: if you want to get like into real custom buildings, a good gallery is the Art Deco gallery. They have some good pieces to make custom buildings. Like you could grab any of these. There's different colors. I'll just grab white, place it. In my opinion, these are some good pieces to make custom buildings. Like there's a bunch of different doors. These are mostly like for modern glass buildings. So like there's a lot of reflective glass pieces. Like this is my favorite one. It's not obviously a mirror, but it's like reflective glass that you can't get. Between your buildings, you could for sure add alleyways like this. Pretend this is just like the edge of the building. So you could for sure add alleyways. If you're wondering what floor to use, just grab the normal sidewalk floors, the ones that are in the street gallery, and then just do this. Then just get some trash or something, and then just throw them over here, and maybe some dumpsters, and yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. If you do have any questions, drop them in the comments down below. I'll be happy to help. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.